Hello friends, today I want to make sure you are maximizing your farm potential while also having the most impact you possibly can. Now this could happen to any role, but we're going to be focusing on the carry today because they're going to run into this situation the most. In this case, we're looking at a carry Lina, and the situation I'm talking about is when you lose your tower relatively early. This, not the earliest, I mean this is kind of like fine, but the rest of the map hasn't opened up. Your team hasn't taken the enemy safe lane tower, the mid lane towers are all still up, and so as a carry, there's not too many places to go right now depending on the game, so you might try to stay in this jungle that has been more popular lately. What should you do to get the most farm? Now, the mistake I saw is focusing a little bit too much on the jungle. This is our bare minimum as the carry. We want to do this, and we want to make sure we are safely farming, and so if that means we can only jungle, then that's fine. But inevitably, in a pub game, they will give you opportunities, and you want to identify those opportunities so that you can then have the most impact. So, in this case, for example, Necrophos ends up staying too long, because even though they're winning and they push up to this tier 1 tower, they take it, getting into the tier 2 tower is scarier, because now there's 2 points of teleports, your team can rotate in more heroes. In this case, it is still just the Lina and Witch Doctor, but they're going to pick up a Necrophos kill here. And this is going to open up one of our first opportunities. You don't always have to be killing Necrophos though. What will often happen in your pubs is they take this tier 1 tower and then they move on to try to get the mid and the bottom towers. Is that right? Kind of, but also not. Lately, it's more popular to stay up here and occupy the space of the carry, because in this exact same situation, where does the carry go? This is kind of all they have left. If the offlaner and the 4 support are staying in here, they're not going to go share the mid lane, and they don't really want to go down here and share the off lane. It becomes kind of awkward if this tower is not down. So you kind of like restrict them. But not all the pub players know that. So they often leave this part of the map, and you're just free to do whatever, or they stay, there are rotations, you die. Here's the situation. We need to push this lane to get it to start bouncing back and forth. That's the part that's going to maximize our farm. More on that later. So Lina kills Necrophos and starts shoving in this lane. This part is good. Let's just go back to her vision, actually. Necrophos is still dead. So right now, we're killing these creeps. We should be doing it as fast as possible. Try to attack as much as you can. Waiting for the last hit, fine. We do need to secure those, right? But keep moving your way up, because am I scared? No, I killed Necrophos. And if we were watching the minimap, we know where a lot of the other scary heroes are. We even have a ward out here. So right now, I know I'm safe to keep moving, and that's what Lina should do, but she actually comes to the jungle a little bit too soon. So let's pretend she's already moving up here, and in fact, she then intercepts this creep wave around here because she moved up first. She starts killing these. Necrophos is still dead. I'm still not scared. And on her team, she still sees other things happening from the rest of the vision the team's providing. So Lina starts killing these creep waves now, and they're dying right now. Rather than stagnating out here, this is what's going to slow down your farm. When creeps just die up here because they meet at equilibrium, which will happen because this is about where they usually meet, here for the Dire side and here for the Radiant side. So if no one's up here pushing it one way or the other, the creeps just sit here for a while and they can get stuck here. And that's not great because there's a lot of farm that's just dying. What we want is for the lane to bounce back and forth. We shove it in because this is going to have positive impact, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then because it's under the tower, it's going to die and it's going to shove all the way back to our tower where we're going to feel safe to farm it. So when this opportunity comes up, like what we're talking about right now, we want to shove it in for our own farm. And while it's up here, we don't actually need to take this tower, right? So if Lina was here and she kills this creep wave, that is now enough. I am satisfied. This creep wave will continue to push into the tower on its own, and it will start this cycle of what we're talking about, which is that while it's up here and I'm scared because people can rotate in and kill me, I'm just going to start moving this way. I'm going to farm this camp. I'm going to farm this camp. I'm going to farm all these camps. The minute's going to change. I'm going to cycle through. I'm going to farm them all again. And in that time, we're hoping that the creeps will have died to the tower. They'll start counter pushing, and they'll be close to your tower where it's safe again. I'm saying hoping because sometimes, depending how the creeps go, it's a very hard, like, exact science to calculate on, like, I need to kill this many creeps and all that. So it's not really in your control. You just want to shove the lane hard with the hopes that it's going to bounce back towards you quickly and not stagnate like this. So when it's stagnating like this, these are all just creeps that, without the proper vision, you might not feel safe to get to. And that's understandable. Like I said at the beginning, we want to hit our baseline of farming safely as the carry, but look for opportunities to do more. When the creeps stagnate out here and this tower is gone, I'm feeling a little scared unless we see a lot of heroes down here, which actually we see Necrophos, right? So what should be happening is actually this tower should already be taking damage because Necrophos didn't come back top. So we're kind of missing some opportunities here, right? Lena's still in the jungle, but actually all of this is safe. The enemy's not going to do anything because we see the hero who was threatening us before down here. We see the mid laner here, and yeah, there's the last enemy carry, but in this case, we're not too scared of him. I know what you're wondering, Zach, what's your range level in old school RuneScape? It's 95 as of editing this video, but the other question you probably had is what if the offlaner doesn't leave? They're gonna leave eventually, but if they're staying here, as this Doom is to this Naga, who has also lost her tier 1 tower, you're just going to farm as safely as you can. As we saw the Necrophos die here earlier, Doom's also going to feel a little scared coming up too close to this Naga Siren near her tier 2, so he's just going to be jungling in here. You do want to be careful if the offlaner can solo kill you, but you can do things like peek your head out from over here to see far into the jungle. They're usually not standing right here waiting for you because this is even deeper into your jungle. They're usually out here in this general area. You might have wards up here. Last game we saw a ward up here. None this game. You're a carry player and they're free. A sentry's only 50 gold to enable you more farm. Buy it yourself if you need to, and then that will help you see the offlaner. Other heroes have escapes or scouting tools like the illusions. That's what Naga's going to use, and you can check this general area for the enemy hero like Doom. Now, I was saying eventually you will get an opportunity. Doom has been sitting up here for about the last 2 minutes, but guess what? As we're keeping our eye on the minimap, there he is. He's in the mid lane, and if we take a quick check, okay, enemy Silencer, enemy Tiny, enemy Lena, enemy Faceless Void, that means the whole top of the map is open to you. And so you should immediately leave this part, leave all this stuff. Naga has illusion, she doesn't have to totally leave it, right? You can leave a couple there, but head over to this lane and start pushing. This is a lot of money right here. Get it going. We saw Naga take a little bit too long to get to this, but she is finally here pushing it out. The downside is, if you wait too long, they can finish whatever they were doing in all other parts of the map and then make their way back top, and they're not going to be punished that hard because while they're doing something else, that's when you want to be pushing in this lane and make them choose, do I finish what I'm doing? Do I come defend that tower? If I'm up here, right? It feels weird. Now, as the carry, you don't have to actually get all the way here, right? What if Naga was hitting this tower and then Doom TPs and kills her? That would feel bad. I agree. But that's okay. Look what Naga did. Naga started pushing this, and right now, we don't know that Doom is here. But we do know that this big creep wave will push into the enemy tower because it is a lot more than 4 creeps, which is what are typically in the wave at this stage of the game. This gives you a bit of a safety net. Once you get to this point, you can go back to jungling if you're scared. If you're not too scared, you can push a little further. When you push a big creep wave like this into the enemy, they don't like to gank you. When this big creep wave is up here, they don't like to just smoke and watch 10 creeps die. They farm the creeps. That's kind of what Doom is doing up here, and this is your warning system as the carry. After you shove up a big wave here, you go, whoa, danger, that's okay. Now I will start moving back through here, and Doom is going to push this into me, and he's going to be too scared to dive me under this tower. Sometimes they're not too scared, you gotta know when to leave it. But in this case, this is where we're gonna be okay. And so Naga right now should be farming all these camps. That's what she's gonna do. Why is this good for us? Because Doom rotated up here. He's not killing us. He's not helping the rest of this team do stuff. He finishes pushing it, he gets scared, I want to farm stuff. Wait a minute, there's no farm here. There's no farm here. What about up here? Or over here? It's gone because you as the carry made this little movement. You push the lane. You ditch it somewhere around here as you get too scared, right? We don't need to be all the way here. We push it up and we make our way to the nearest camp that we feel safe at. If we're too scared here, maybe it's a small camp. Too scared of these camps, maybe it's up here. In this way, when someone does defend it like Doom and they come over trying to get farmed, they want to be up here, it's all empty and they feel awkward. And guess what they're going to do? They're not thinking about Dota hard enough and they're going to leave. They're going to leave the top lane again because they're going to say, there's no farm up here. I'm not getting anything done. I'm going to go away. And you, the carry, you're going to see them move away, possibly with a ward you bought yourself if your supports didn't do it. And you're going to start pushing this lane immediately again to punish them and make them come back. And they're going to waste a lot of time walking back and forth, not farming, unlike you with your sick farming pattern, pushing up, then jungling, then pushing out. And when you can't do this, you're just spending time jungling. If you ever have to, maybe you do make your way over here. That's a whole other video topic. You are happy, you're doing things for your team, we're hitting our baseline of safely farming, but we're looking for these opportunities to get more done, so we're not just an AFK carry, we are effectively impacting things even while just farming up our items, and we're not ready to join big team fights. We're still allowing our team to take good fights because we're bringing up heroes like Doom up here, and now he's not over here dooming our mid laner, dooming our off laner, right? They get to make plays while you're still farming. Everyone is winning. This is not always available to you, but I want you all to look for these chances and to know as soon as you see them, you have to ditch these camps because there's a limited amount of time you want to get up here. You don't want the lanes to stagnate while you just sit in the jungle. These opportunities only come when you force them to happen by pushing in the lane. You see the people come up and then you do the little cycle. So thank you for watching. I hope you found that helpful. If you want one of your own games reviewed, drop by one of my Wednesday streams on Twitch, and I spend the whole time just raffling these away. See you there. Bye.